Good morning and welcome to Love Every Moment, coming to you today from Abilene, Kansas. Today's verse is 1 John 2:19. They went out from us, but they were not really of us. For if they had been of us, they would have remained with us. But they went out so that it would be shown that they all are not of us. Well, this is a little bit tricky, and I want to see if I can deconstruct this a little bit. It starts with they. We have to find out what they is. And we go back to last week's verse, and I have the link up here, and we see that it's talking about the Antichrist, those who are against Christ or trying to be substitute Christs. And then that goes back to the previous verse from that week, and that was about the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the boastful pride of life. With that in mind, let me reread today's verse in the Living Bible version. These against Christ people used to be members of our churches, but they never really belonged with us, or else they would have stayed. When they left us, it proved that they were not of us at all. With this all in mind, it's going to bring up a difficult subject, and that is eternal security. There are good theologians that have differing opinions of this. I'm no theologian, but I'm going to show what my best understanding is of what's going on. I do believe that a true Christian, one who has fallen in love with Jesus, who has a love relationship with God, that he could have anything in their lives, that Christian has no worry, has 100% assurance of their salvation. They'll never, ever lose it. They might be imperfect, they might sin, they might even have a period of prodigalness, but they won't ever lose their salvation. But I can also understand why people think that a Christian can lose their salvation, because we all have stories of people we knew from church that were very involved. They ran the Sunday school, they went to the prayer meetings, they gave potluck food, they did Christianity. But God knew their hearts, and at some point they weren't really of them, and they left the church. Now, let's look at a couple of people at the end of Jesus' earthly ministry, the thief on the cross and Judas. On the thief on the cross, there's no real indication that he knew Jesus personally. All we have is a couple of sentences from this guy. And Jesus then says, okay, you're in the club. You're going to be with me in paradise. Now, if I had been standing there, I might have said, no, wait a minute. He says 2 sentences on his deathbed, and you're going to let him in? Come on, that's just fire insurance. He's not sincere. But that's me talking and not Jesus. Jesus knew his heart, and therefore Jesus could declare, you'll be with me in paradise. On the other hand, we have Judas, who by every indication seemed to be in the club. He did everything the other disciples did. They had no idea, even up to the Last Supper, they had no idea when Jesus said, one of you is going to betray me. They had no idea that was going to be Judas. No idea. He did everything that he was supposed to. He did Christianity, but Jesus knew his heart. And when push comes to shove, he left the group. We will see those people in our lives, that if there's a church that is preaching the true word of God, and not some prosperity thing, or not glancing over the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the boastful pride of life, if they're teaching the whole word of God, those antichrists who do ascribe to the lust of the flesh and so on, they're going to leave at some point. We need to certainly continue to love them and encourage them to come back, but that is going to happen if a church is healthy. So we need to really make sure that we are following him, that we give him everything, and then our salvation is assured. Because if we love every moment, we're going to love every moment. I'm your average wretch, and I hope you have a great week.